not everyone's going to be at the most optimal level of health physically or just mentally or emotionally, but they may have come from a place, let's say they're here and they're on this journey, they're already here. They're already, halfway maybe to where their goal is up above that, right? So
Yes,
they can
yes.
help people from here to there for sure, right? It's like if you've only gone half up the mountain, but you're on the way to climbing all the way up, well, you can at least take other people up to that halfway point,
Oh
right?
man, everybody's maybe heard of martial arts or maybe done them. You don't have to be a black belt to teach a white belt. Just let
Right.
that land for a moment. Like there's a wide spectrum of colors that are way beyond the white belt. So no
Mhm.
matter what, as long as people are being in integrity about what they're sharing, I think we're in a good place. And I think we are going to come back as a collective to that actual service to ourselves, our brothers and sisters in the planet. And again, I know that it sounds a little woo woo. So I just want to make sure that I'm talking to the people who are more logical and analytical minded. Because when I tell you the thing that resists that is probably your ego saying, what is this guy, some kind of spiritual hippie? But I'm not. Like I'm in the logical world like you. I have just seen and felt and experienced certain things that have really led me to this path that if we don't have self-love and we're not taking care of ourselves and other people on the planet, nothing else really matters. It doesn't matter how great you look or how much money you have in the bank. Like none of that stuff is going to be what you care about in your last days of life.
Exactly. And so much of good health is the foundations, right? It's kind of the boring stuff. And so that's like probably the most important part. So if you have a good foundation, then you can always get, more intricate in all the other things that you do with different testing or looking at infections or mold or certain supplements. You can always
Yeah.
get more intricate, but it's always built on a solid foundation versus a poor foundation where you're not sleeping well, not breathing well, not doing all the right things with your food. Then that's kind of where I see a lot of doctors kind of get into this mode. They just get very nuanced and very
Ooh.
specialized, and they miss the solid foundation where that all should sit on.
Yeah. Look at the industry of biohacking. So
Hmm.
one fascinating thing that I see is we have people doing photobiomodulation and red light therapy and all these different ways, the nighttime glasses, the NADs and all these things. And they're great. But it's almost like if you're going to build a home and you build it on a sloping
Yep.
hillside and
Or
it's built
sand.
on shaky sand, and the
Yep.
first time a storm comes, aka a virus, or your wife leaves you, or your husband
Yep.
leaves you, or there's an external stressor, that house is going to collapse. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. So that's this whole biohacking approach where I think Dave Asprey had a good intentions in the beginning, but he's kind of created a monster, because we have all these people that are just like caught up in the marketing of like, oh my God, should I get the new thing? And it's like, nah, you actually need to eat, move, and sleep and believe, think, feel, and act. Those are the 7 pillars that I believe we're all built upon.
I think that makes sense. And then I think if you have the pillars dialed in, then I think the biohacking is a much better kind of layer on top of it, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
I think
good.
biohacking is kind of like the pretty windows and like
Mhm.
the new
Yes.
doormat and the flowers,
Yep.
but it's like it ain't the house, my friends. It ain't the house. It
Exactly.
ain't
Yeah.
really where you live.
Yep. I totally agree.